Radio Zero.
It's Radio Zero with Rick and Rose, Friday, April 11th. After the bomb, so we're like what? It's a month. It's been a month, a couple of weeks since the bomb hit.
I'm not sure what the bomb is.
After like the nuclear disaster.
We're live streaming on Facebook, on the Radio Zero page, on the Poster Children page, on Twitch at PCJCUSA, and on the Poster Children YouTube channel. We're a little late getting going today.
That's because, yeah.
You can subscribe to the podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify, or go to radiozero.us. You can patronize us at patreon.com/radiozero. Thanks to all of our donors. All right. And I'm just hoping there's no crazy echo or anything, because I did change settings.
Did you turn on
see.
the echo setting?
Yeah. Oh, no, I think I fixed it because now, yeah. Anyways. All right, everybody.
So, Rick, I got a
Yes.
question for you. What do you think about the AI controversy?
The AI controversy?
Yeah.
Which AI controversy?
The AI controversy. Do you ever use AI in your daily life? And by AI, I mean artificial intelligence.
I use a little bit, but I actually just talking about this today at lunch. Like asking ChatGPT to help with writing things and everything like that. It hasn't worked out. It doesn't work for me.
You don't give good prompts?
I guess it's my fault, right? Yeah, it's like saying the Google search doesn't work for me. It's like it's all about creating queries, right?
Yes.
But I do like what is it called? Notebook LM.
Oh, what's that?
That's the Google thing where you can just dump in a bunch of stuff into a notebook, and then you can start asking it questions about like, oh, what's the policy on drones?
So, like, you can, let's say, you can, like, dump the proposed faculty contract into Notebook LM and then start asking it, what's in it for me?
Yeah.
I'm a full professor.
Yeah, you could do stuff like that. So kind of like analyzing data or large, chunk, like multiple documents.
But I've done that with just ChatGPT,
Yeah.
but I pay for it.
Yeah, you can do that with ChatGPT, but right, you have to load the documents directly. Like Notebook LM, you can create a notebook and dump a bunch of stuff into it. I think you can also do web links.
Who makes it?
It's a Google thing.
Okay.
It's the controversial part of it is that you can dump a bunch of stuff into a notebook, and then you can have it generate a podcast, which is two people
Which
like
is what
us.
we did.
Yeah, basically
Yeah.
what we're doing right now,
Yeah.
except talking about all the information
Oh.
inside there.
Okay, so that's where, like, yeah. Hey, happy Friday, Dannon. I can't fucking implore enough to you guys, and I think that's the right word because it's the wrong word. What a hell of a year this week has been. I'm like, last Friday, last Friday, like a couple hours before last Friday at this time, y'all were getting ready to strike. The faculty was getting ready to strike. I'm just, you can edit this, right?
We're
the
live streaming.
Faculty was getting ready to strike, and I'm not part of the faculty anymore. I would have had to cross the picket line because I'm administrator, and I would have had to cross my husband. You'd be in the picket line, and I'd have to walk right in front of you, and then we'd have to sleep together at night, and that could be like a good thing, like that. We'd have like makeup sex, What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say it's interesting because actually in the tentative agreement that has been, I guess I'm jumping ahead here, but it is actually mentioned the director of creative technologies is not in union. It like says, I think it says about schools. And it says some general things, and then specifically director of creative technologies.
Does it say interim director or director?
I think it was probably because I don't know. Yeah, things are in flux or whatever. I don't know. I don't know why.
No, it's like because I had a card and they revoked it. I was part of the union.
Yeah, well, but also Yeah, but
It
also
says-
other school directors
Yeah.
are not.
Yeah.
Are considered administration. So, but for some reason,
Well, I disagree with that. I think you should hold it up. I don't think you should sign it. Don't ratify it. Really, that's in there? That's
it's
not
just
fair.
part of the list of
Yeah.
it's like there's a list of sort of administrative positions that are not union.
Okay. Wow, that's cool. Well,
Anyways,
I'm the tentative director anyway, so that there's a search.
and
That's-
at
that's-
some point you may go back to being faculty,
I'll
and
absolutely go back to being
you'll
faculty.
you'll be under the union contract.
Well, I'll have to join the union, right? Or will
No.
I? No, I don't have to join
No,
it. Oh, okay.
I don't think so.
Or I can rejoin it. I still have my shirt.
Yeah, I guess you can sign up, but you'll still the contract will be you'll
Illinois is a right to work state or whatever, not right
No.
not to work state, right to not work state.
I guess it's a union state, I guess you would say.
This is so. This has been like the reason that we didn't have the reason we didn't have Radio Zero last week is not because we had an argument. Although we did have an argument. No, we didn't. I don't think we had an argument. I think we fell asleep or something.
No, well, so last week it was the deadline, so the union filed an intent to strike, and then there's a 10-day cooling off period.
and
So Friday night was the end of that 10-day thing, and so there had been a whole week of negotiations, and then at the last minute, and so it was possible that there was going to be a strike, there a rally, and things like that.
oh
and so
yeah,
I decided not to do Radio Zero, and then
because
right
you were going to
about-
be at the rally. You were going to 5:00 was the rally, and you had it on the calendar.
but the rally got canceled because of rain, and then about at that time, around 5 p.m.
No, it was 4:30.
Around that time,
Okay. Yeah.
around that time.
Yeah.
So not the exact moment at 5:00, but around that time. So maybe 4:30. They came to an agreement, and so it was like a last minute, 11th hour, 59th minute, agreement.
And
or
I was
tentative agreement.
Yeah, and I was so freaked out about this. It's way more freaked out about it than I should have been. But just thinking about crossing the picket line and then having to teach all your guys' classes, how we, and it was just like it was going to be a scramble, and there was a incentive to, make sure that the students are going to be okay and are going to graduate and stuff like that. But the negotiations teams pulled it through, man. They pulled it through.
And without a federal mediator. So
Yeah.
the thing is that there had been a federal mediator
That had gotten doged.
had been part of this process, and then like in the last couple of weeks,
Yeah, got doged.
they've cut all of the federal mediation stuff. The Department of what would that be? Labor. And so it was all being done without a mediator. Well, and but got a deal.
Yeah. So that was one of the I couldn't believe, I don't know, I feel like I was crying. I was so happy because I was so freaked out. And then also it was also I interviewed for the permanent position of my job. I mean, I can say that, right? Because I did it and it was open to the public. So I interviewed and I have no idea how I did. I have no idea if I made it or not. I have no idea. I won't know. This is like the last time I interviewed for this job. I had an interview, and then the next day I went in for breast cancer surgery, and I didn't tell the interviewer that I had breast cancer either. Do you remember that? I remember it.
Yeah.
It was like I went for the interview. She was like, "Can you interview Wednesday?" And I was like, "Do you have Tuesday? Is Tuesday okay?" And she's like, "Yeah, I have some time on Tuesday." I'm like, "Oh, good. Okay, yeah, Tuesday's better for me because I'm getting breast cancer surgery the next day." Oh my God. So and then I was waiting after then I was waiting to get radiation treatments and stuff, right? This was during COVID. So this is nothing. This wait is nothing, but it's still, I'm waiting. I'm waiting to hear. There's a bunch of searches open and we're waiting to hear, how the results of them. So, and it's the most privileged, oh, am I going to get this job or not? Whereas I have a job, So, but it's I feel like I'm waiting with bated breath.
Yeah,
Are you waiting too? And yeah,
I guess I am. I mean,
yeah. Like I'm paranoid too. I'm like, who knows? Who knows what the answer is? Who knows? Who's going to get it and stuff. It's like, yeah, it's. But I mean, the people who decide, I have utmost faith in. So no matter what they decide, it's going to be fine. So that's what else happened. There was some other things that have been happening too, like at school. There was something else too. I can't remember what it was. Something else got resolved this week. Do you remember it?
no,
I don't remember it either.
I don't. Yeah, I can't think of
Teaching
anything.
students like through all this, like just making sure students are okay and engaged in class. I can't remember what else was going on, but so yeah. Oh, and then there's I don't know a freakish apparently I just heard on NPR on my drive back here that there is one similarity between our president and Adolf Hitler. Do you know
Just
what
one?
it is? Just
Oh.
one similarity. I was like, what is it? Is it a white male? No. What it is, because one of them's orange, right? So what it is, according to this history professor who gave a talk here today, is that both of them were outsiders, like in 2016. Like Adolf Hitler was an outsider, like 37% of the vote or something like that, and then got before the election, and then just somehow like won the people, like won over most of the people, and
Well, most of the people, I don't think that's true, but yeah,
enough
I know
of the
what you mean.
people to
Yes.
enough of the people. Those are the similarities. I wish I had seen this professor's talk. It sounded really interesting. But do you know how our Hitler, our 2016 Hitler, do you know who helped him do this? Actually, it doesn't make sense what I was going to say, so never mind.
I mean, what do you mean helped? Like,
No, like what got him? What group got him? Pushed him over the edge of having 30% of 36%, whatever. Actually, what I was going to say doesn't make sense though. I was driving and it was like never mind. I was going to make a joke, but it's not a good joke.
well, and just that idea that this certain group pushed him over the top. It's like, okay, we're going to take this segment of the population,
That
put them in a
votes-
box,
yeah.
and say, because they're a smaller percentage of the population, because they, the majority of that sliver went for him, then that's why he got elected, right? And it's like, well, no, I mean, it's because all the slivers, right? All the people, enough people got over, the line. It's not one specific group that, where it's like, they flipped it. And it's like, I guess you could say that. It's like find the closest sliver, the narrowest sliver you can find, and
Put
say,
all the slivers together.
Well, yeah, if you put all the slivers together, then that's just, and it's like, but singling out, a certain group or something and say this is who pushed him over the top. It's like,
Yeah. Anyway, my joke wasn't going to work. I'll
Okay.
tell you my joke later. I'm not going to say it on
right.
the air. So Dannon says, "Happy Friday." James Sweeney says, 30-year Union punk rocker, right here, Shooby Doo. All right, James.
unions are punk rock. Just ask Billy Bragg.
Totally. And then James Sweeney says also, so is Arizona. Not sure what that means, but we agree.
Right to work. It's
Oh,
probably was
right to
about
work.
Right to work
Oh,
but Illinois is not a right to work state, and the misnomer right to work
yeah.
means the right to not have a union.
It means that you don't have to join the union and you can go to work, right? Doesn't it mean that you can go to work even when the union is? It's your right to work when the union is striking. I think. I feel like
more
I read
than that. I
yeah,
think
it's more.
It's about
yeah.
yeah.
Alberto Valderrama Guzman says, "Greetings from Lima, Peru."
Nice.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Are you on a mountain, Alberto? Because it's mountainous. Okay. And then Cody B gives the sign of the devil. Because the Democrats have failed, in my opinion. And
What?
we like Cody is our token libertarian, I believe. Is that what you are? He won. Okay, he won. He's corrected himself. He won because the Democrats have failed, in my opinion. Yes, I like it. I love you all. I agree. He won because the Democrats lost. Losing is like failing. So he's right. You're right. You're right, Cody. All right. Dan says, another unfortunate soul living here in Arizona. I'll be in Tucson tomorrow for the Agave Heritage Festival. I love Tucson. That's where we should go. We're trying to figure out where to go for summer vacation, and I know y'all are not going to want to go to Tucson because it's too hot. It's 115 degrees.
Tucson's not as hot, right?
Tucson is hot.
Oh, it is?
It's a dry heat.
I thought Tucson was...
Nope, Flagstaff is not as hot.
Okay. We were just there.
We weren't in Tucson.
I know we weren't in Tucson, but we were in Arizona, that area.
So the thing about...
Spent a lot of time.
Oh, you're from Illinois? I know Ron Smith from Nebraska. Do you know him? I know Matthew Smith from Normal.
It's more like saying, we haven't been to that part of the country on vacation. And it's like, well, we were in Flagstaff and the Grand Canyon and everything
totally
like that. And it's like,
Tucson.
that's
missed Tucson.
That's not that part of the country.
You know what I like about Tucson? That awesome hotel. Remember we played at? We played at a hotel. And people were like chandeliers all over the place. Oh, Cody says he's not a libertarian. Wow.
Yeah.
What are you then?
Oh man!
Tell us what you are.
Rose needs to have a label for you.
I do. He's just a Cody, is what he is. Okay. Tucson is where you go from November to March, not in the summer. Says you people who. All right. Cody saw Mogwai on Tuesday. Amazing. See, there's another
Hotel
reason.
Congress. Oh, okay.
Hotel Congress. Yes.
Was that Tucson?
I
Okay.
love that place so much. I want to go back there.
Is it still there?
Is it still there? Let us know. Okay. So what else? Like now, Cody's laughing about something. I don't know what it is, but I'm glad I've made you happy. What else can't we talk about?
The wrath of Rose here.
Yeah, I'm.
That's just like what it. That's
Listen,
just how a libertarian would react.
I don't even know what a libertarian is.
I don't think. Yeah.
That's like calling somebody who was our band anarchist, and like he was all upset, Christian, right?
Yeah.
Was all upset because he's not. Dan says that Hotel Congress is still there. He was upset because he's not really an anarchist. That's like calling me. I don't know. It's like a it's not a. It's a generic label for something. It's like calling Rick a Democrat. It's more complicated, right?
And I looked up I'm trying to remember the name of this guy who came to the Allen Hall when we were in like in the early mid 80s.
Oh, is it a hippie?
No, he was a libertarian, but he was a anarcho-libertarian, anarchist. It was because it was like, ooh, what's that? Yeah, I had to go back and look and see what the definition of that was, and it was definitely a much better libertarian than whatever crazy libertarians are now, like Elon Musk, I guess you would say. Although he's a technocrat, I guess.
That was midweek. This is how long of a year this week was. It was like midweek, and I was like, Elon Musk is going. I'm happy we didn't sell the Tesla yet, because and the Tesla has a bumper sticker on it that says "Fire Elon." We hate Elon, but guess what? Elon didn't invent.
We hate Elon.
He didn't invent.
Hate him.
I don't have the money to buy a Ford. Okay. I'm just keeping it. And so Elon had like some kind of argument with the president somewhere in the middle of the week because he didn't like the tariffs or something. Oh, wait a minute. These tariffs are not going to be good for me, And then I was like, oh, wait a minute. Elon Musk is going to be, he could actually, and I fucking didn't know who he was. I didn't know who he was when we bought the Tesla because I'm not a 15-year-old male. I didn't know. And he's not the inventor of it, so I didn't know who he was. I didn't worship him. I had absolutely zero feelings for or against this man until a couple of weeks ago, probably, right? But then I started thinking, oh, maybe it'll be like Clash of the Titans, not the movie, just two clashes of two Titans.
It'll
where
probably be as good as Clash of the
it
Titans.
would be, good TV. Like, so Elon, like, against President Trump, and you'd have a divide of Republicans and assholes, right? So some people would be for Elon. They'd be like, yeah, Elon is right. We shouldn't have tariffs. And then the other people would be like the other Republicans would be like, but President Trump, he's our orange savior.
Yeah, no,
he's going to stop killing babies.
I don't think Elon has the pull that
he doesn't.
Schittler does.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. But like I was like, he's got money though, right? He actually has money, right? Does Trump anyway?
Oh, I don't know.
Anyway, I thought maybe that, and then my last thing I was thinking about for this like kind of fantasy, and then I was like, and then I wouldn't have to feel bad about driving the Tesla, and it would all roll around. We would have circumvented. We would have lived through the, oh, you have to get rid of your Tesla. Go buy a different car, you asshole. But it never happened.
No, yeah, it's. All that'll happen
is back on the
Elon
same side.
I don't
I
see
decided
any
if
kind
somebody comes up to me and starts yelling at me, yeah, Schittler, you're right. Somebody comes up to me and yells at me, you have a Tesla. How could you?
But
I'm
that
gonna be
hasn't
like,
happened. I mean,
no one said anything. But like, I'll just say to them, you fucking live in America. How could you?
What does that mean? Oh, you're saying America.
You obviously, if you live in America, you adhere to the values and morals of President Schittler, right?
I think if you said that to someone, they would feel like you're saying America, love it or leave it.
Well, that's what they're telling me. Tesla, love it or leave it.
Well, yeah, but those imaginary people aren't doing that, and I think people understand that.
Yeah,
it's more important not to continue supporting the company. But if you bought a car 6 years ago, it's not really. There's nothing about it. I guess you're advertising, but you're not.
I know
supporting.
it actually does. It really sucks, but I mean,
Well, like I said, a year ago, we could have sold it a year ago.
We can still.
When
sell
I
it.
was already upset.
You were upset
and printed
years
out
ago.
Fire Elon.
Yeah, you
sticker.
were you were upset years ago, and I couldn't care. Like, the car gets me from one place to another, and I don't put gas in it, and it doesn't burn gas. So, and I know and I understand it's bad, but you know what? I mean, at least I don't wear leather. At least I'm not killing baby lambs.
What was nice about it is, that the car, didn't have leather seats.
I mean, you live your life as best as you can, as skillfully as you possibly can. But to pick one, and there's all kinds of battles, right? There's all kinds of terrible things you can do. Like you can go shop at Target. Like, fuck you if you go shop at Target. Like, or Walmart, you can go there and screw you. Okay, sorry.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how this all plays out with the China stuff. The China. It'll be interesting to see how it affects Walmart and Target, and
That's the other thing too. I'm like, okay, people are not going to be able to buy their Shein stuff, right? Does that mean they're going to go to Danelle's store, Circles, a sponsor? Not a sponsor, but I sponsor them.
No, I don't think so. I think all that's going to happen is people are so used car sales have gone up, and used car prices, and people just aren't going to buy as much stuff because it's more expensive.
And, well, that's not bad, right?
Yeah.
That's good, right?
You could say, I mean, or I guess what could happen is people would keep buying stuff, more expensive stuff, and racking up a huge amount of debt, which is not good. But
Glenn Barth is asking us, not kidding, are you guys doing any Canada shows or not possible? I think that we need a visa now to get into Canada, right?
Yeah, but we're not playing it. We're barely playing. We're playing shows within driving distance of our house. The thing about Elon's grandfather, the technocrat, fascist, Nazi, maybe Nazi, like who moved. I've talked about this before. Yeah, he moved from Canada to South Africa in the 30s or 40s.
Yeah, people didn't know that.
It was like, oh, Canada, ugh, things are too loosey goosey here. Let's
move
go
to
hang
South
out.
Africa.
Yeah, apartheid.
So he's Canadian. originally? Elon Musk?
Well, he's got Canadian family, and he came into, when he left South Africa, he went to Canada first, right? He was in college in Canada and then jumped over to the U.S. I don't think he's a Canadian citizen. Or maybe does he have South African, Canadian, and American citizenship? I can't remember.
I have
But
no idea. Somebody can look
so
that up for us.
It's just there's
you see.
the technocrat kind of his grandfather.
You're-
In fact, the earliest thing I heard talking about that was like 2 or 3 years ago is the 500 Songs podcast is like the long, like 5-hour tale of the Grateful Dead, and it drifts all over, but it talks about like the technocrat stuff and Elon's grandfather and all that, and kind of tying it into all the libertarian shit, so John Perry Barlow, the internet people kind of tying it into the Silicon Valley and Grateful Dead kind of, the libertarian.
They were hippies and they
hippie,
turned into libertarians.
and some of them were just libertarians. that
Cody,
turned into-
you
and,
see that
and,
Cody's writing about this, you
Yeah.
know? Democracy Now! Did a bit about Elon's grandpa.
That's what I was
okay.
saying.
Okay.
I was responding to that. I can see some of the comments.
Yeah, Rick is talking to you, Cody, and others.
Anyways. Yeah, so the stock market bouncing back and forth.
We're making a lot of money because every time Bitcoin goes down to last time it went down to 80 or 70, maybe well it's been in the low 80s, so I bought a couple,
Did you?
Yeah, I sold the Tesla and bought a couple of Bitcoins. I think I got 2.5 Bitcoins. I'm just kidding now.
So
yeah,
2.5,
totally.
that would be like what, $200,000?
$160,000, and then
Yeah.
$160,000, and then it's still in the 80s now. It was over 100,000 before.
You need
though.
to let me know when you make those transactions because there could be a lot of.
Oh yeah.
Is that capital gains? I can't remember.
Oh
what it
yeah,
is.
yeah.
Yeah. My disappointment is Ethereum apparently is just like why can't the cryptocurrency that I have a little bit of, why can't that
Why can't that go back? back
going crazy
to
up and down
half
and,
of what it was.
yeah
it
it's
was
like,
going up and down. It's just like it's at a longer scale.
And my
It's
other
so terrible.
disappointment is like, it's like if you're going to destroy the U.S. economy and the dollar, it's like, I thought everything will go to, Bitcoin and crypto, right? That'll be the
Currency.
the currency of the planet, and it's like, no, these frickin' cryptocurrencies are just following the stock market.
Oh,
It's
I
like,
know. Yeah, it's such a
okay.
disappointment.
It is a disappointment.
Well, who
It's
the
like
fuck do you think is buying them?
Good job, libertarians.
Yeah, Cody.
It's terrible.
Do we have
Poor
do we
Cody.
have a token Republican that listens to this? Probably not.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're back up again today, right? The stock market went back up again
A
today.
little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why. Like every time Trump puts up this is what he's doing though. He's doing this on purpose, right? He's like, "Oh, I'm going to make more tariffs." And
I
then
don't
his
believe
friends
it.
buy
So
a bunch
yeah,
of
that's
stuff.
so like
If
insider
I know
trading and
about it, then
everything like
it's
that.
probably happening. If I'm thinking about it, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. If I'm thinking
Yeah.
about it, it's happening.
So just take that into account,
Cody,
Cody.
we're kidding. We're kidding.
He knows. He is. Ha, ha, ha,
Okay.
there.
Yeah, but he said "fuck you." Gonna start crying. It's been such a long week, Cody.
Wow, nice.
We love you.
Go there. Just
Well, you were like,
disparage
banned-
him,
banned-
and then when he fights back, you're like, I'm hurt.
I'm gonna
I'm
make-
hurt.
wait,
that
let's
you
make a- we can
that
make a
you
f-
were upset at me disparaging you.
Okay. It's okay to be a
Not cool.
libertarian. You can be banned libertarian. We'll make you a oh no, now he's crying. No, don't cry. I'm kidding. You can say fuck you all you want. Okay.
For me, it's like I have an index fund. Like I'm in the market.
I have a pencil with my name on it.
Yeah, but and it's like it's just like I just hope that they don't, after all the bouncing, I hope they just don't tank the whole economy, and then when I have to retire, I have no money because my retirement.
Well, we'll have
has
a
been,
Tesla in this house.
Yeah, I guess that'll be great, and then we can subsistence farm.
What is going to be at the end of this next 3 and 3/4 years? What is everything going to look like? So let's think about what, when Trump came in last time, and then when he left, how many 200,000 people had died from the COVID virus? Not all in America, obviously. Or
No,
was that?
yeah,
Oh
I
yeah,
think that was
in
the
America,
number for
200,000.
America.
Got
Yeah.
rid of 200,000. We had the snap.
And I mean, what's going to happen? I don't know. Yeah, it's
What's it
just
going to look like?
how hard, how many times can you survive a impact, right? It's like the plane
Yeah.
hitting
Yeah.
the runway and then bouncing back up, and it's like, at what point do you hit the runway and then the wings fall off and then the plane crashes, as opposed to it kind of, the fuselage gets dented and then you flip up and then it's like, oh, we don't have any landing gear anymore.
Should
so
we
we
cut
can never
yeah.
land. I guess that's not a good
Never go up
metaphor,
again.
because you
planes
would
are
have to
crashing?
be, if things were successful, you'd just be flying constantly, right? It would be like a spy plane
yeah,
up
it's
in the
not
air,
not a
which
good.
is kind of, that is the solution for like someone like Elon Musk, for the billionaires, is that they have the orbiter or the Mars, colony, and then they're just kind of off in space, and then our plane crashes.
There've been a lot of movies like that.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what it's going to look like.
Should we cut down the tree in the backyard and start planting like food?
Why do we have to cut down a tree? We still got, there's plenty
There's
of
not
backyard.
enough sun.
All right, let's not go there again. So
All right. Anyway, so what else? So I here played the lady music because I've been watching The Handmaid's Tale. Better get the right one.
oops. Now that time I had the right one, because I realized
Yeah.
there's a setting on the mixer here. I can switch it, and it can show me a diagram of which button is which.
Okay,
And
so
there's so much sun right now.
I know. I've been
I
watching The
can't see
Handmaid's
it.
Tale. And it's making me sad, so I'm not going to talk about it. What's next?
Great.
Did you like the end? Didn't we watch something else and it ended? Oh, Severance? No, it was a long
That
time
was
ago.
a while ago,
Yeah.
right?
What
Yeah,
else?
I think we
what
talked
else?
about that.
What else ended? Nothing.
I don't remember.
So I've been waiting for The Handmaid's Tale to come out, but I actually think it's making me a little bit sad.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I stopped watching it after season 1. It was like, I think I watched part of season 2, and it's
This
just
is like
like, oh,
season
this is just abuse. I'm being
Yeah.
abused,
Yeah.
and
As a
they're-
white male.
yeah, as a white male, I felt threatened and abused, and yeah, I felt like I couldn't watch it anymore.
There was a lot of religion in it. A lot of and the guy with the white beard is pretty cool. I like him. The lady, the Australian lady who is the evil one, she lost a finger and now she's good. She's kind of like the one of the protagonists that, she was bad, but now she's good.
Which finger did she lose?
A pinky,
Oh.
because she read or something or wrote. She's like one of the architects of Gilead, right? You don't even know. Don't you feel like okay? I started watching Severance and I was terrified of it. I didn't want to see a man with his brain severed. But yet I watched it because and then I made it through. And some of those episodes at the beginning were very oogie for me. I felt bad and sad, but I watched it. Why can't you watch all 6 seasons of The Handmaid's Tale with me? I'll sit with you and tell you that you're a good white male. You're a good white male. You would never rape another woman
Yeah,
for religion.
in the name of God. Great. Well, thank you for that.
You're a good white male. Remember when there was like a white male, I'm a good white male, like pin you could wear?
The paperclip.
Yeah, for a
Right.
while, and then
I
you
hated
were
that.
Yeah,
I
Rick
was really
hated it.
upset.
Rick didn't want to wear
It's
it.
like the minute like white or liberals or whatever, felt like uncomfortable because they thought, oh, someone sees me and they think I'm a Trump supporter, so I've got to make sure that I put a symbol on to show that I'm a good person, and so I don't have to be uncomfortable with that that idea of being judged just for the way I look. And it's like, wow, the second the privileged white people, are uncomfortable, it's like, oh, I gotta show that I'm not this bad, and I can't be judged. I don't want to be judged.
And this is why we
superficially like every frickin'
keep
minority
talking.
group,
and that's
in
why
the world has had to suffer for eons. And it's like, ooh, the second the white people are uncomfortable being judged, and even just not even being judged, the perception of being judged, or like being judged for their car. Got to put a little sign on your car to say,
that's why I kept
I'm
it.
not a monster.
This is why. So this is why we can't have nice things. This is what Cody's saying. This is why the Democrats lost.
Why? How is that connected?
I'm not sure, but I stand by my. This is like. I'm not sure, but I stand by my answer. It's because you're saying that it's not okay to wear a paperclip. It's not just you feeling uncomfortable and wanting to say, "Hey, I'm a safe person." It's actually for people who feel unsafe, it's knowing that there's a safe person around. So you putting like a pride flag on, like, a little safe space sticker on your office door when they were giving those out, and I don't know if they're still giving them out, and this might be problematic, but if you put one of those safe space, like, or this was like purple triangle or something like that on your door, then people know that you're safe.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, and I'm not against, showing that you're an ally and everything like that.
Yeah, I think that's what the paperclip
well,
was.
so the thing is that it's just kind of like, oh, the second that, that I felt like some of it was like, oh, showing, but it was not in reaction to, let's say, some sort of specific event of, like, let's say it wasn't right after George Floyd or something like that, right? It was after the election, and it was like a bunch of white people voted in a racist monster, and it's like, I need to show that, and in reaction to that, it's like, I need to show that I'm not
one of those white people.
Yeah, a racist monster, and I want to be able to walk into a room and have people know that I'm not a racist monster, because they see me and they see a shitty white man, right, with a baseball cap on and a beard, and
you
it's like,
shouldn't have worn it.
Oh my God,
Somebody
thinks I'm just by looking at me, they think I'm a Trumper, and it's like, oh, boo-hoo.
Can you take me through? I want to know the timeline of you deciding not to wear the paperclip. I really want to.
There was no timeline. It was just like, oh my God, white people, come on. It's like, ooh, I don't want to be judged for the color I'm
of my
uncomfortable.
skin.
I'm
Yeah.
uncomfortable in public, and I want to, I don't want people to think that I'm a monster, And it's like the second the white.
You're saying that black people have had to deal with that forever. And still do.
It's like any women, even, it's like, oh, I'm judged just by my appearance and everything like that. And it's like, it would be like, oh, what would it be? I mean, I guess if you were a woman and you wore a sign that said, what would it be? I'm trying to think of what kind of sign you would wear to make.
I'm
make
an
sure
engineer.
I'm an engineer.
I have a science degree. If you kept telling people
I'm
that you were an engineer.
Yeah.
No, an engineer. Women can be doctors. I'm a computer science major.
Women can be doctors, but not engineers, right?
Well,
okay.
yeah.
I don't know. Anyways,
all right.
I don't know why we're talking about.
Yeah, we already did. What was
2016,
right?
9 years ago.
It's a revisitation of a.
It was almost a decade ago. We're in a completely different shitstorm now.
It's the same.
We're
You're past the papercllip.
We're in the 7th layer of hell right now. You're
Yeah,
talking
it's
about
really
like
so tough
surfing
for
on the
us.
rim of the first layer.
Okay.
Back in 2016.
All right. So what? So anyway, about The Handmaid's Tale.
Speaking
I was
of
happy to watch.
the 6th season of hell.
Oh, it's probably the next one. I'm waiting for Andor. I'm excited. So Andor was fun. that was really neat. And the fashion choices, the clothing, that was really good. I'm looking forward to that again.
I'm looking forward to seeing how if they just cut the episodes all into 45-minute chunks with no understanding on how to end a serial episodic, show, and just basically take what was it, like an 8-hour movie and chop it into 8 equal parts, without any consideration.
Let's see you do it, man.
Serial narrative.
Yeah. Let's see you do it.
I'm excited to see. What's his name? Who's the director of that? The the showrunner director.
I don't know.
Tony something. I can't remember.
Shalhoub?
Yeah, not Tony Shalhoub. What did I just see with Tony Shalhoub in it? Oh, Gattaca. I was watching part of Gattaca. It was on the TV.
Does that stand up to the test of time?
I think I need to watch the whole thing because it was like, oh my God, everybody's in this. I mean,
that was weird. Like,
so yeah, what's his name?
The guy who reminds me of you
is in it. Jude Law.
Reminds me of you.
Uma Thurman and Sparky. What's his name? They were married. They must have met on this movie, but they're not anymore. Ethan Hawke.
I don't like his chin.
What's his name? The writer.
Bob Balaban? No,
Bob Balaban.
He was in
what did I
something
just
else.
see Bob Balaban
He was
in
something too.
Oh yeah, I was watching Catch-22. The original Catch-22. Bob Balaban.
There's a sequel?
Young. Well, there's a remake.
Oh my God.
Who else is in it? It's just
All right,
crazy.
just look it up. Okay.
Tony Shalhoub, Alan Arkin. It's full of great people.
Catch-22 or
Ernest Borgnine? No.
Gattaca.
Yeah.
Well, isn't Alan Arkin or wait?
Alan Arkin's in Catch-22
Okay,
too.
yeah,
That's right.
Yeah. Okay. See?
Anyways.
I'm no slouch. Okay. What else was I going to say? I'd have to go through a whole weekend not know. Like, I know I'm going to have to go through 2 weeks of not knowing whether I got. Just living in unknown, in uncertain times. As if and understanding how privileged I am to like sit here and worry about it. It's so dumb.
I had an exciting development in my health journey. I talked to the neurologist, and I have.
Well, you need the music.
Which one would
Christ.
that be?
Oh, come on, we know. There you go. So, start us off.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Boy, that's a long cue.
What is it? So you're gonna need to start us off on the beginning of your health journey.
Well, I was born, and I was vaccinated as a baby.
And
fully vaccinated, and in fact was revaccinated.
I was going to make a joke, and I decided not to.
I went off. I was just talking about this measles, right? And so this happened to you too, right?
Yeah, we had to go back.
Yeah, so the late 60s measles vaccine, I think it was like partial live, or I can't remember what it was, but it was found to be not so effective, and so. When we were little kids, they rounded up. They rounded up all the children, into
the gymnasium,
and
gave us shots.
We all got shots like in the early 70s. We got
just like
measles.
In Apocalypse Now.
Yeah, we got measles boosters.
Then they cut off our arms.
And then it was like, well, that was what would happen now, right? Yeah, that's the thing.
They cut off our arms.
Yeah, it would be and just imagining them doing that now.
Why the hell are you talking about this?
Because you talked about my health journey.
Okay.
Anyways,
a few years ago,
I went through a battery of tests and stuff.
Because why?
I'm having some cognitive issues.
I could have told you that.
Yeah. Yeah, no. It's always very, very funny and supportive.
I think it's funny.
Yeah. And
are you still finishing the crossword puzzle every day? Are you?
I am.
Yeah, so I don't know.
So there's nothing wrong with me.
You're just getting
That's
old.
what you're saying.
You're getting old.
Just getting old. There's nothing wrong with me.
Okay. Anyway, but you went to check. You were you were saying sentences and not remembering a word or something like that, right? Is that what it was? Or like,
I'm having issues completing thoughts. Being able to verbalize things. And that's happening on the show. I mean, I think you can hear it. You can go back and listen, to the way I talked, 5 or 10 years ago and the way I talk now. And it's a little more halting and problematic. But, I went through, did an MRI, a month or two ago. What else did I do? EEG. That was crazy. Did I talk about this on the show?
No, I don't think you talked
I didn't
about
talk
any
about
of this stuff.
any of the testing. So got put in the big MRI machine.
What did you listen to?
I listened to classical music. I specifically asked for classical music, but then they were using some sort of streaming service, so it would be like Eric Satie playing, and then all of a sudden it was like, buy new Fivrin, and they would have like, is your internet slow? All of a sudden it's like, well, and the machine's going off, and
make the noise of the machine though. Do you have no, you have a button. It looks like
it's not this. It's more like it was it's and actually that would have been better. Like for me, it was like an industrial kind of.
You should have listened to industrial music.
Well, no. What I'm saying is the sound of the machine to me was more musical than having the sound of the machine clanking around and then also listening to
advertisements about
classical pop hits and then with ads in between. They also you can they can project I guess they project it on the wall and you look through a prism or something to see like a scene. And they asked me, well, what do you want? Do you want a beach scene or do you want a forest and everything like that? And I'm like, I'm not going to have my glasses on. I'm not going to see anything, And so I said, and I started saying that, and I was just, give me a beach thing. And so I got to look at a blob on the wall for a half hour. I'm trying to remember the EEG. The EEG was like lying in a chair. Oh yeah, I had all of the sensors put on my head. So the nurse spent it must have been at least a half hour gluing things to my head. It's not a cap. They actually glue the stuff directly, and then she'd walk out of the room. And it was that also they had a TV in there on the local news channel, the
local Fox channel. Was it Fox?
Like hippie and drippy in the morning, it's like and them talking, and it was like I got a remote, but it's like I'm supposed to be getting my brain tested. Why is and I muted the TV, and then again I couldn't watch it because I had my glasses. I think I had my glasses off, and then it was like some of it was lots of there's flashing lights. Some of it was just sitting there breathing. Yeah, I think I had to do some breathing. It's been a while since I did it. But the last part was just like the nurse rolled up this, I guess almost like a flash or a light, like a lighting rack, and then, stuck it in front of my face, and then would all sorts of pulsating lights and everything like that. Had an EEG. And then I did a barrage of memory tests, like the full on, not the, thing that Trump did. TV, woman, clock. I remembered all the words. That 5-minute test. It was like a brutal 2-hour memory test where it was like, I'm going to give you a series of numbers and then you repeat them back to me. And it was like 1, and then there'd be a pause, and I go 1, and then the nurse would go 1, 2, and I go 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 5. 1, 2, 5. And then it's like, okay, now I'm going to give you a series of numbers and you have to tell me them backwards. So it was like 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 1, 2, 5, 5, 2, 1. And then it would get longer and longer. There'd be like 8 numbers, 9 numbers, 10 numbers, and you have to go to them backwards. And then it was like, what was the next one? It was like being tortured. It was like,
it sounds like it.
I'm going to give you numbers and then you have to say them back to me in numerical order. And then it would get longer and longer lists. So it'd be like 1, 7, 9, 7, 3, 4, 7, and then I'd have to go
1, 3, 4, 7, 7, 7, 9.
7. Yeah, you have to remember how many
Yeah.
times, put them in order, and then it was stuff like that. Or it's like, I'm going to show you some shapes, and then I want you to draw them, and then it's like, okay, and then show them, hide them, and then you have to draw them from memory, and then it's like, okay, let's do it again, and then it shows again, and then it's like, yeah, and then I do an hour of a barrage of other tests, and then it's like, do you remember the shapes I showed you an hour and a half ago? Why don't you try drawing them again? It's just like, ah! And then there's stuff with blocks. It was just like puzzle time for 2 hours.
And you did okay, right?
I did
You got
okay.
Like a B minus.
There was a thing where there were like pictures, and it was like I could not remember what a broom was called. I think it was like you had to name things, the pictures, and part of it is just exhaustion. But it was like, ooh,
Did they have your eyes
that's
open?
a broom.
Like,
Yeah,
like
no,
in
it was
Clockwork Orange?
Anyways, I did all that testing, and then had the neurologist appointment follow up. Yeah, this week, and it was like, everything's normal. Your brain is fine. Nothing in any of these
Sorry to
tests.
disappoint you.
Yeah, memory's good for your age, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But the one thing is my B12 levels are, like, we did blood tests, and I'd never done a larger blood panel, and it's like, one thing is your B12 levels are abysmal. He didn't say that.
Are
but
you
it
a
was,
vegan?
Nope.
Not anymore.
Did not ask
Didn't-
me.
Yeah. They're
Yeah,
Not allowed to
and
ask
I had
you
seen
that.
these test results when they took my blood a while ago, and it was like, and it was like, he's like, you should start some B12 shots.
So after all this, you're gonna have to just give yourself a shot in the ass.
And so, yeah, no.
Have
and
you
so
done it?
I have done it, and so and so it got complicated. So first day they sent a prescription to the Jewel Osco, and I went and picked up
Not
the
a sponsor.
prescription, and it was just a bag of needles, and I was like, the guy was like, okay, it's just it's this syringes, right? And I'm like, yeah, and B12, and he's like, no, there's no B12, just syringes. So I felt like a weird, like, sketchy kind of like person getting needles, and then I had to talk to the doctor's office, and they're like, oh yeah, sorry, we forgot to add the
terrible.
B12 in there. And then I went back and got some vials of B12, and then on Wednesday night I watched a couple videos, and that was the other thing the doctor said, well, do you want to give shots yourself? Have you ever done that before? I was like, no. I guess I did. I gave you shots, right? I think I said
I think
I
you
gave my
maybe,
wife
yeah.
shots
Yeah.
for, fertility treatment and
Progesterone,
stuff, right? Yeah. I feel like I did that. Did I? Or did I just watch you do
No,
it?
no, you did. I had to give myself the other shots, but I think
Yeah.
you gave me those shots. Yeah.
And I was a little iffy about it. And then he was like, well, we can have you go to your general practitioner and schedule every week to go in and get a shot. I was like, ugh. I don't
So
wanna do
is
that.
it's a
So I
shot
do it
every
myself.
week?
Yeah, for 4 weeks, and then once a month for another few months, and then see how it goes. And yeah, so I watched. There was one video, and it was like is a nurse describing how to do this. And it's like, oh, you need, the best way to do this is to get a tiny needle. You don't need the big needle and everything like that. I'm looking at my gear, and it's like a giant monster needle and everything like that. And I'm like, oh, great. But then I watched this other video. It's a guy. It's a nurse talking about for people like who have to do hormone, they're doing hormone treatments, and he was saying, or testosterone, and it's like, okay, but it was great. It was like, and I did it in my, like, I'm not going to do it in my stomach, so that was the other option. It's like, I feel like if I tried to poke a needle into my stomach, I would just be injecting it into fat. It's supposed to be a muscle.
Oh, it's got to go in your muscle?
Muscle, yeah. It's what is it
Oh,
called?
my God.
Intramuscular
Oh,
or
wow.
subdermal?
Does
I
it
don't-
hurt when you give yourself
So
a
that's
shot?
the thing, is this nurse was saying, okay, here's the trick. Well, first off, you stretch the skin,
Yeah.
and then you jab 90 degrees into your leg, and the thing, and you do not push it in, like throw, like go like a dart, like a bang in there. And then the other thing you should do is you should cough while you're stabbing yourself with the needle. And I did that, and That's why our kid freaked out, because I was sitting in the bathroom
I
on
heard,
the toilet
yeah.
with the syringe, and then I go,
Did you show
and
him
then
what
I
you did?
kind of went, whoa. No, I did not show him, but he was like, what? Is everything okay? And I was
Yeah,
like,
I heard.
yeah, I'm fine.
We all heard what was
But
going on.
It really worked, and it went in, and it was really super scary. It's a really scary
I
thing.
can't
to,
believe
like,
you didn't let
stabbing
me
yourself.
watch you.
Yeah, that's really great.
I'm your wife.
What are you doing? Hey, is it? Are you okay?
I would have. I would have loved to watch that. I would have loved to watch it. That's cool.
Jabbed it in, and it did not hurt. So that's a tip if you're doing this,
Wait,
like the cough thing.
Can you show on the show, like, do it with your arm, like show how the jab goes?
Well, I'm spreading like the skin. So the other thing is spreading the skin.
Oh, you got to spread it.
So he said,
push it away from itself.
Yeah, like
okay. Because when I shot myself in the stomach,
you
squeeze.
Right, but on the leg, stretching it, and he said, what'll happen then is like then when you let go, the hole will seal up, right? So if you stretch.
Yeah.
It's the kind of like stretching it out. And so,
God.
it was a great instructional video. And then, then I had to squeeze it in.
How much stuff, how much B12 do you put in there?
1,000.
Well, how, like, is it
it's 1,000 milliliters?
A long syringe?
Oh, and all the stuff
pole?
like having air in there and everything. It's like, there's a, what is it? Not a legend.
Yeah, you'll get an air bubble.
And you'll die.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, first off, that's intravenous, and then on top of it, typically, if you get a little bit of air when you inject intravenously, it's going to disperse. Your blood's going to absorb that oxygen. It's very unlikely that unless you put in a huge amount of air, that it's going to travel all the way up and give you a stroke, right? But yeah, with shooting it into your muscle, it's not a problem. And in fact, having a little bit of air at the top after you push in the medicine, he was saying it caps off the, or it makes sure that you
that
it
all goes in. Yeah,
and
that
then
makes
you got
sense.
That little bit of air after it.
So you have to pull from a vial and stuff.
Yeah, and that was bad because the vials, they're little individual vials, and they have the amount you need. And so, if you have a large vial, and you're sucking out 1,000 milligrams, then you've got a big thing. But this is like that's the thing that took the longest, was trying to get everything out of there, get the needle to suck up everything in the little tiny vial. And then and I didn't really feel. I mean, my leg hurt where I had it like that night, but when I woke up in the morning, it was fine. And then I didn't really feel anything. Today, however, I felt a little too on edge, or I felt like I already had too much caffeine, but it was like, ooh, I feel a little too. I felt
too
like
with
amped up.
More with it.
Not so much with it, like amped up. And so
jittery.
That's the thing, is people take B12 for like, it'll give you energy and everything like that, and it's like it can perk you up a bit, and so it's been 2 days, and today I felt a little weird. So it may be doing something.
It's really fascinating.
But we'll see. Yeah, that's the other thing the neurologist said, is like people who have dementia or think they have dementia, like sometimes they'll just go on B12, and then like almost instantly all of their symptoms go away, because
the doctor I got a B12 shot a long time ago from Dr. Troopin.
Yeah, and so that's the thing, is people do like B12 as a health thing or energy thing and everything like that. This is trying to make up for the fact that it seems like I've got a B12 absorption problem. And that can happen as you get older. So hopefully I'll be good after a few months of shooting myself in the leg with B12.
That's crazy.
It is a little crazy.
Yeah.
And I am thinking about it again. It's like, I'm going to have to do it again, even though it didn't hurt and everything like that. Next Wednesday, I'm going to be doing it again. And it is a little creepy. Yeah, like,
did you do it before you went to the Senate, or
no, absolutely not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. When I came back that night, and it was like, okay, I'll do it tonight, and then if I feel sick or something the next day, I'm not teaching or anything. So
that makes sense.
It was better. Yeah. So it was good.
Wow. Well, thank you for taking us on your health journey, Rick. That's really those are some really, really nice things to hear. That's.
All right.
Well, thanks for listening. Do we have anything else to say? We complained about the president. I complained about my job. I didn't complain about my job, but like, yeah. I'm trying not to think about it the same way, like when you have breast cancer, you have to stop thinking about it and live your life too. Like you have to just, your job is not your life. And so I have to stop thinking that my,
Yeah, and I think that's kind of bullshit. Not to undermine your healthy outlook here, but it's not true. I'm not 100% true, right? It's not that your job's not your life. It's a part of your life, right?
yeah, but I have to stop thinking. Like, I think I've just been like full on, like,
Yeah.
I never stop,
Yeah.
like I feel like I can't, like, cause there's so much to do, and there's so much, like, I really enjoy it. It's so much of a challenge, of making a new school. So it's like every single, wow, I could make a flyer for this too to promote this, oh, I'm going to work on it forever. I'm going to work on it overnight. I can make this flyer. I can, I got a grade still. I could fix these assignments. There's so much to do, and like none of it is tedious at all. That's the problem, is there's nothing bad. It's like every single thing is just like a wonderful, ooh, and then I get to do this, and then I get to do that, so we're lucky. We have really great jobs.
Yeah, we're lucky we have jobs.
We are, yeah, all that. All right, well, thanks for listening. What are we gonna eat for dinner? We'll have to figure it out.
I don't know. I feel like I had a big lunch.
We did.